Good morning, good evening, good night. Okay, so whatever time it is for you, I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Jennifer. I am a licensed massage therapist and the voice and author of The Guides Whisper. My content is at the intersection of faith and movement because I don't have it all together, so why not just do it with you, you know? And this is my dog Prince. You'll see him a lot because he's always near me. And yeah, that's just where we're at. But today, I really want to talk about our foundation because it is very important that your foundation is stable, balanced, and able to hold you up through the storms of life. And most importantly, I wanted to talk about Matthew 14 because today, boy, yeah, it called me out a little bit. And it also activated my little therapist brain because, the foundation is not just what you stand on, but it's literally what you stand on. So you're so we're gonna get into that today. As I was reading Matthew 14 this morning, I learned something very important. I was at the part where Jesus is walking on water, and Paul, him and the disciples are in the boat, and he sees Jesus walking on water. And he goes, Lord, if it is you, call me out there. And Jesus does. And as bold as Peter is, he gets up and he goes out on that water. And I found it very interesting that he was able to walk on the water until he took his eyes off Jesus. The second his eyes started to look at the waves and the wind and how strong they were, his foundation got a little rocky and he began to sink. And it made me think, what is your foundation? What are you standing on? And is it strong enough to hold you up? Now, here's where my therapist brain started to kick in, because the same thing that happens to you spiritually when your foundation is weak happens to you when your physical foundation is weak as well. Your feet and your ankles are your literal foundation to your whole body. So if your ankles and your feet are weak, everything above it is at risk. And the body tends to overcompensate for whatever issues that you're having in the body. As we may know, compensation is not always a good thing. So let's work on your foundation today so that we can make sure your knees, your hips, and your low back are protected. These are simple, intentional movements that you can do at home, sitting down, even laying down, whatever makes you feel better. But as long as you're doing them, it's worth the try. So do it with me. First, ankle circles. Sitting or standing, lift one foot and draw slow circles in both directions. This restores range of motion and brings circulation back to a joint we constantly ignore. Alright, let's proceed by doing the identical movement with both feet simultaneously, and if you feel comfortable, you can even perform one at a time. The next step involves performing some ankle extensions to effectively stretch not only the muscle group situated on top of your foot, but also the calves, which contribute to stabilizing your feet and overall foot posture. The next movement is heel raises. Rise up onto your toes, hold for a moment, and lower yourself slowly down to the ground. This movement strengthens the muscles that support your ankle and your arch. Don't rush it. Control is the whole point. Then we're going to do some single leg balance. Just standing on one foot sounds simple until you try it. So if you have a chair or some kind of table, you can feel free to hold on to it so you do not trip or fall over. This is where you'll find out real quick how stable your foundation actually is. If you're wobbling, that's information, not failure. Lastly, we're going to do some toe spreads and grip. Spread your toes wide, hold, and then release. Then grip the floor like you're trying to pick up something. Your feet have muscles too, and most of them we never use. So it's completely normal for your toes to be able to spread. Shoes often constrict the toes and force them in one position for hours at a time. So this exercise helps to train the feet to go back to its natural position and help to reduce any injuries from bad balance. Here's what I want you to remember. Peter didn't sink because the water got too rough. He started to sink because his focus got shifted. And the second that you take your focus off of what your foundation is, for what's holding you up, that foundation starts to get a little rocky. Weak ankles and weak faith have the same result. You fall. When you do the work, when you strengthen what's underneath you, both physically and spiritually, you can walk through the waves that threaten to take you down. Not because the storm stops, but because you know what's holding you up. Your feet carry you, your faith sustains you. Don't neglect either one. It's gonna be all for today. Now, the movement side, that's my lane. 'Cause, I went to school for it. So don't be afraid to do that practice with me. I'm here to help you. But as far as my faith goes, anything that I share, that's just my walk. That's just me learning to trust the one who's the way, the light, and the truth. And I'm just learning to walk with God one step at a time. If something that I say encourages you to go into deeper reflection, that's enough for me. I'll see you next time. Deuces.